Through the sands of time, we have persevered. Through fire, through wind, through thunder and storms. We are here to say, the sand shall prevail. We will be one, and you will be none. Welcome everybody, for this is VETRUVIAN Glory, my new show where I analyze decks, show them, try them out, that belong to Vetruvians. So, let's see, is this recording? Yeah. So let's see, we have our first deck that I want to discuss. This is FGZ's deck. It's his name is his name as a streamer. He is a streamer and a good streamer. Shout out to him for this deck. He is an artist. He makes adult art. So he's called Cyberludes on Discord and in his stream. Cyberludes. FGZ is his IGN. So what do we have here? Well, this is obviously, or maybe not so obviously for some of you, an aggro deck. It's meant to go face and kill as much as possible and as early as possible. So let's go over the cards and see what makes it tick. And later we'll maybe think about how to improve it, how to maybe switch a few things around. So let's start. We have the Flameblood Warlock, 3 of those. So the Flameblood Warlock, he does 3 damage to both generals. He has a body of 3 and 1, and it's already interesting because there's already a synergy that to me was new, and I'm an old player. I'm a veterinarian. I'm a Vetruvian player. Okay, I played in Dueylst 1, and I main vet obviously, and the third wish I believe was something different back then, or it was what it is now, but was ignored. So just generally kind of ignored. But anyway, nowadays the third wish is deal 3 damage. Your general deals 3 damage and or extra 3 damage. I'm not exactly sure. And your general doesn't take damage, and he can move 3 extra steps. So at first I thought, well, this is not so good. But look, first of all, it reaches the targets, the general that people hide from your general. It's very easy to place them away from your general's reach. So that takes care of it. So if you got a creature, a minion you want to take care of, you put on 3 wish. Go at it with the general. Now, what I was going to say is it has a very good synergy, obviously enough now, with the Flameblood Warlock, because the general won't take damage when you drop it. So it's kind of like a 5 mana deal 8 damage, which is tremendous. So this is a very good synergy straight off the bat. Next up, we have Blood Tears. So in a deck like this, where there's a lot of kind of scatter damage, the what's it called, Bone Swarm, and we have weapons, and we have Tiger, and we have these that do damage, high damage, but may not want to go face all the time. Blood Tear can finish off those pesky minions that didn't got removed by Bone Swarm or other things, or your general. And also it can go face, and well, it can do 1 damage, which is interesting sometimes, or it can remove a tick from an artifact. So a good choice, I think. We have 2 tigers, so no need to talk about that. The one thing is, you know, if you have tigers, why not run 3 tigers? Tigers are awesome. So I don't know, maybe he decided because he doesn't have enough room. We'll discuss changes later. Repulsor Beast, that's the cute dog here. Push dog, I call him. And he obviously pushes away enemy minions. So if you go face, that's tremendous because you send it to hell and back. Well, just to hell without going back. And you go face. So now this what's it called? Wind Strike is a very interesting minion now. I mean, I to be honest, I don't remember if it did that back then. I'm pretty sure the effect give your general Yakir what's it called? Staff of Yakir, or how do you pronounce it? Yakir with no I don't know. It's very good when you have Aurora. It's very good when you have Wildfire Ankh because then you can shoot it at a distance. And with Hexblade, you know, and Aurora, you start to get crazy damage. And the artifact, I believe, will cycle itself too. So you put 3 of those, you got 3 more potential if it doesn't get dispelled staves of Yakir. And well, it has a 4/3 body, which is nothing to sneeze at. So that's pretty good. Now, whether it's the correct choice for this deck, it's kind of debatable. We had a debate in my secret Vitruvian Society club, but I think it's good. If it gets dispelled, it's still a big body. Maybe replace it for a different 4-drop. Like, well, we don't have an emerald here, so we have some healing in Third Wish, but it's just 2 hit points. Maybe an Emerald Rejuvenator, which everyone is using in this meta. Maybe, I think, even better, maybe even better, I'm not sure. You know, the other 4-drop of the Vet, you know, the one that takes the form of the other minion, the name eludes me now. So, Mirage. Yeah, I'm a really dedicated vet player. For shame! Ovi, for shame! By the way, my name is Catpaw. Anyway, so, what was I talking about? I don't know, man. I have a blackout. So, this creature, we may want to. So the Mirage. Let's elaborate a little bit about the Mirage because obviously it's a very interesting drop. So it can be a huge tempo shift. It can be. I miraged a Silicar Elder the other day at a tournament. That was fun. My opponent conceded almost immediately. It was really cool. Eldar Silithar Elder. So. You can basically get better bodies with Mirage. You can clone a Tiger if you have the mana and go for face if it's lethal. You can, well, the possibilities are endless with the different foes you have, literally almost endless. So a Mirage may be better, but I really like the body, flying, and a Staff of Yakir to boot. So you're gonna wind up cycling in in an attrition combat. You're gonna end up cycling your Yakirs like crazy. You're gonna have plenty of mana to, equip them and combine it with Aurora, which is just 1 mana. So I think it's a good choice. It's definitely to be considered. So this is the what's it called again? This is a Silhouette Tracer. It teleports your general, so teleports your general up to 4 spaces. So I really love that because, well, first of all, if you're going face with someone, you don't know if he's got better face than you. you don't know if you will be running a couple of turns in. So Silhouette Tracer gets you out of there. The more obvious, the even more obvious one is you're going face. Well, maybe his general is hiding. So Silhouette Tracer can get you there. And if it's a late turn, there's going to be a really good play of Silhouette Tracer, one of these weapons, and Aurora to the face. So if you have weapons equipped, that could be even better. So yeah, it could be a huge, huge, huge game changer. Honestly, even if you're in mid-game, it can be used to give a huge face hit to the general with your minion. With your general, you can get, like, say you have the staff, Aurora, and one of these, another weapon for the Aurora effect. You just do like 8, 10 damage. Doesn't matter. It's a game changer to get hit in the face by 10. So we have the spells. So these are the minions who have the spells. So we have, of course, the great 0 mana dispel. Pack 3 of those in every deck. We have Aurora in a deck with weapons. You gotta put it 1 mana. 3 of those is perfect. First Wish is tremendous. In Dueylst, draw is king. And you get the draw. You get to maybe keep a tiger alive after an attack. You get to maybe keep, well, this guy, the Shrike, give it more damage, give it some fatter body. It's really good. It's a good card. Second Wish is draw 2, heal 2. So the draw here plays an important part. So we draw 2 now. So it may not be huge, but if you're blowing a lot of cards, you need to put this in. Possibly in every deck. Like I'm aiming to even wield the power of this to use 3 of those. So put a lot of 2s and 3s and even 0s and 1s, and you pack 3 of those and just fill the board with minions and give them Inner Oasis and so on and so forth. But that's for another day. This is about this deck. So this is Second Wish. He packed 2 of those. That's good enough. He has 1 Rash's Curse, which I think is correct. It's fine, because if you pull an artifact, you have plenty of ways to get rid of it. So if you pull this Rash's Curse into hand, you can decide, okay, I want to keep it, I don't want to keep it, I want to use it, I don't want to use it, I want to use it in the next turn, and so on and so forth. It, of course, can go face. It's burst damage. So I love it in a deck with Fire Blazes, of course, but this is not Obelisk Vet. So we have Bone Storm. This is face damage and some damage from the minions nearby. So you can easily kill minions with this if you play your turn correctly, or if it's abyssal, I should say. And we have the third wish, which we've discussed. The artifacts, we get it. We know the meaning. So you get a lot of them on you. You blast. You hit minions with the Hexblade for them to have 0 attack during that turn. You go face with it. You combine Aurora with it. Okay, so that's about it for this deck. I won't go further because I want to show you another deck. But leave a comment if you think how it can be improved. I believe Cyberludes pushed S rank with it, and he's now in it within the ladder. He's number 15. So according to him, if I understood him correctly. So this is a crazy deck. Aggro goes fast, so it's good for laddering. So shout out again, thanks to Cyberludes, sorry. So let's see the next one. I really want to show you, and this is a really cool one. This is Golem deck. So let me go back 1 minute. So first of all, I want to explain that I'm a big fan of hybrid decks. So what are hybrid decks? So hybrid decks, to me, they take 2 concepts that even are sometimes played as a 1 concept, but you combine those two concepts into one deck. So here we have golems, and we have spells, and well, this is not really a hybrid deck. This is more of a golem deck, but golem, maybe they say, I'm not sure. A golem deck. So this is not a hybrid deck, but back in the day, golems were really cool. There were a lot of really great, cool golems. If you remember, there was Sirocco. There was the one that creates a mana tile. Really cool golems, but I hope we're not going to just get expansions that were in the last Dueylst. We're going to get new cards, and you know, whatever there was good, but it's good that it's over and we're facing something new. But golems, in their basic form, are still, I think, a force to be reckoned with, because, well, let's get into this deck a bit and see. So I also put a couple of Arcanists here. It's kind of like a theme that they Arcanists, like artistically speaking, but there's no really Arcanists, you know, buffing each other. Like there's no bear here, or there's no, well, there are just a couple of Arcanists that I think are very good just with regards to what they do and what they accomplish generally and specifically in this deck. So let's get into it. So we start with Mana Forger. Why? Because well, obviously I want cheap spells, and this is a 2-drop. This is a solid 2-drop, and you can put it down far away or close if you're trying to get bored, center of the board. And usually though you put it far away, and then you get to play your great spells 1 mana cost cheaper. So you get all these nice spells. We'll go over them, and I believe it's important that we can use them for 1 less mana, because we have spells here that we may or may not want to use. We have spells that we may want to use if we just have the right mana, like in Oasis, or like to draw 2. You know, we just trying to pull it at the right time, but we don't have the mana. So maybe Mana Forger saves us that problem. So okay, next up, Metallurgist. So this is key. If I didn't have the Metallurgist, I don't know if I'd consider making this with these basic golems. So very importantly, it's a true drop, and it's an excellent 2-drop. So when you put it down, you get your golems cost 1 less to play. So as long as it's on the board, your golems cost 1 less, and it has pretty good durability and attack. So it's a Q3 obviously, and with 3 attack, with 3 health, you need to attack it twice. The 2 attack, you can even buff it with a wish. 3 attack is already pretty respectable. So it has some survivability. The golems are cheap. Awesome. The effect is cumulative. You put 2 of these, I believe your golems will cost, you know, say this costs 2, it'll cost 0. So yeah, it can get crazy. So this is the Skyrock Golem. Why did I pick him? Golem. Why did I pick him? Because he's a 2-drop, and I want to, you know, have a threat on the board. So 4 attack is already quite meaningful, you know, because first of all, it takes a lot of 2 and 3 drops. It's good face damage. So you put it on the board. Yeah, it dies in 1 hit from most anything, but it's a threat. And when you put it down a threat, you have momentum. You have, you know, you have some power in your hand. You have a card in your hand. Pardon the play on words. I didn't mean a literal card. But I believe it's a good drop, and it sometimes costs 1 mana. So a 4/2 for 1 mana, that's pretty sick. Now we have Ethermaster. I did want another 2-drop. So notice we have a lot of 2-drops. We want, and we will get a good starting hand. And I'll get into why there are so many of these a bit later. But the Ether Master, he is fantastic. I love the art, by the way. It's so majestic. But he lets you replace an additional card each turn. And in this deck, I believe that's a really good, a good advantage. A good advantage. Because, well, first of all, we're looking for spells. We're looking for the Inner Oasis is the right moment, for the Rasha, for the Draw 2, for the First Wish, the Entropic Decay, the Dispel. We want those. Those are the Vitruvian staples, as I see them, at least in this iteration of Dueylst. So these are all tremendous cards that we sometimes desperately need, right? We sometimes see a huge minion, we need Entropic Decay. We sometimes see a sister or whatever, something bad from Abyss or from Songhai. We need the Siphon Energy, or even Linar with all the buffs and, the Crazy Knights and all that, the Celerity and all. Ooh, we need the Siphon Energy. So when we get replace more, and of course draw more, but we'll get to that later, we increase our options, we increase the deck's flexibility, it's just fantastic. So it has 3 hit points, which is good. It's 2 hits from like a general and a 1 or 2 mana minion. So, well, not all 2 mana minions, but never mind. It's a good durability. Your opponent sometimes may not bother to clear it, so. So I'll just hang there and, let you replace easily. Okay, the heart of this deck maybe. Golem Vanguard. This is another card that without it, I wouldn't consider doing a Golem deck. But since the Vanguard is so good, I did this deck. And I haven't played it yet because I don't have 3 Golem Vanguards. So pardon me, I'm just giving you something that's theory crafting. But I think it's interesting. I love this. I love what I created here. I want to play it badly. But I simply don't have the cards nor the spirit right now. So, Golem Vanguard does provoke, and other allied golems have provoked. Now, since this is the first show, let me elaborate a little bit about provoke. And I want to tell you what I think about it. So, I think provoke in Dueylst is a massive, massive force because it really changes what's going on in the board. And even a swamp, the 0 mana cost, the 1 mana cost, and 0/3 with provoke, even that little minion who's very annoying can make a change, a huge impact on what's going on in the board. Because when one of your minions or more, or your general, his general, is provoked, well, that just immediately makes them think and makes them change the tactical opportunities. Well, it makes them change the tactical plan they may have had, for sure, because now the board is different. There's something going on that limits you. So I think provoke and some people agree, everyone thinks it has value, but some people think less of it, some people more. I think in many cases it's very promising. It's very valuable, and in a deck with so much attack power, like the Skyrock Golem, these golems, which we'll get to, these Hailstone and Star Metal and Flame Acolyte, well, this is kind of a gimmick, we'll get into it. So with all that, and with the fact that, his general maybe not doing so hot, and with all the board clearing we do, it's cool to have provoke on a couple of bodies and even more. So this is a good drop. It has 4 hit points for a 3 mana. It's fine. 2 attack, not so hot, but we've got First Wish. And he's there to survive and make golems provoke. And imagine you can send your golems to provoke this guy. Send this other golem to provoke this guy, that guy. So that's really important. So yeah, 3 of those for sure. Hailstone Golem. So that's a 4/6 body. That's a force to be reckoned with. So first of all, the 4 attack is not that strong, but the 6 survivability, the 6 durability, the 6 health, whatever you want to call it, that's a lot. And when you see that on the board, you kind of need to drop your hard removal or to remove it with bodies. And if you remove it with bodies, you're going to have bodies, my friend. So you're going to have dead bodies. So that's like a really good sign. Imagine with Metallurgist, you drop it for 3 and play another turn. And Inner Oasis this guy, maybe that's overkill, but give it a wish and go face, or go face without the wish. So anyway, just have it survive. It's great, but 3 of those aren't enough, so we need bigger bodies. So we've got the 5 drop. So I tried to do it with a little bit of a mana curve too. So we've got 3 of these guys, Flame Acolyte. When you play a spell, summon a spell spark on a random nearby space. So that is kind of a gimmicky a connection between Flame Acolyte and Mana Forger, because when we play a spell, there's a spell spark, which is a 1/1, and if Mana Forger is on board, we can drop this guy. Let's say 7 mana turn, drop this guy, drop First Wish, and drop well, 1, and we have 1 more, so we drop a Dispel maybe. Doesn't really matter. Maybe it survived on the board because it has 6 hit points, and the next turn we shoot off some spells. We have these sparks. We have these 2 sparks, and they're not inconsequential because you can Inner Oasis them. So it's not that strong. It's a bit gimmicky, but I just went through it for the hell of it, and I love fish, and I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. Whether there are Arcanists that are better for this deck, whether there are 5 drops that are better than this deck, that's for you to tell me. So we have the Starmel Golem. So like I said, we have only 3 of these bodies and only 2 of these bodies. So this is a huge, huge body with the Metallurgist. You can get it for cheaper. You get the idea. You have an 8 on the board. You go face. You win. So yeah. Okay, so the spells, we have the Dispel. So we discussed these. Like I said, the idea is all of them are really important, really good, and the Mana Forger can make you shoot them off. If you play the Dispel, you get 1 mana back. Did you know this? So yeah, if you play Mana Forger and you play a 0-cost spell, you actually gain 1 mana. Check me on this. It's true. So yeah, so this is the deck. Those are the 2 decks I wanted to show you. I will be playing with those when I have the cards for this, or maybe I'll design it so I have 1 Provoker or 2 Provoker if I craft one, and try to make it work. And the first one, I really want to use already because, well, I have a tournament today. We all have a tournament today if you're watching this on Friday, the 2nd of October. There are tournaments led by, a lot of credit goes to Fate, who does a lot of good work in it. So kudos to you and shout out to you, Fate, and the Mithron League and everyone who is involved. I believe T2 5K or whatever. And of course, I love having Dueylst back. It's a dream come true. Let's go! Thank you for watching. I was Cat Paul, and this was what I call this show, VETRUVIAN Glory!